Hello and welcome everyone to our business tips and tricks with LinkedIn class. We are going to wait a couple of minutes to give everyone the chance to join the class before we begin. On our website, there is a handout with more information about the profile and service features of LinkedIn. You can refer to this for more information about the features described during today's class. We will be using the instructor's LinkedIn profile to demonstrate and may share additional resources in the chat. Your microphone and camera have been muted and disabled. You will only hear library staff during this class. You will not see staff, just our screens, and we cannot see you. The chat and Q&A features are available for you to ask questions throughout the program. Again, welcome to class. We will begin in a couple of minutes. Okay, welcome to our business tips and tricks with LinkedIn series. Today's class is Profile and Services and will be hosted by Caitlin Tips and assisted by Caden Scott. Please say hi, Caden.
Hi, everyone.
Caden will be assisting us by managing the chat today, so please make use of that feature. So before we begin, I need to let you know about some ground rules that we've set up for today's program. You will be muted during this class and we have your video blocked. You will only see the instructor's screen. At the top of your screen, you can find an exit full screen option if you need to get to other things on your computer, including LinkedIn. You are welcome to ask questions or request that the instructor repeat information at any time during today's program. You should see an icon at the bottom of your screen that says chat. Click on that to open the chat window. Chat is set to be seen by library staff only. If you prefer, you may also use the Q&A feature located at the bottom of your screen to ask questions. Please note that any inappropriate questions or comments will cause your immediate removal from today's class. For all questions, we may answer you directly in the chat or Q&A box. Hold the question until a break or the end of class, or ask the question at the time if it is pressing. On our website, you can also find a link for a handout to accompany today's class. We will also share the link in the chat. A recording of today's class will be available in a few days. So if you would like to watch today's class and then practice with the recording later, that is an option. If you would like to follow along with your own LinkedIn account today, you may, but please keep in mind that it will be difficult for us to give one-on-one assistance or troubleshoot. We will try to take it slow in case you are practicing along with us. All right, so good afternoon. As we get started today, I need to remind you that I'm a librarian, not a business expert. The information I'm sharing with you today is designed to be an overview and to help connect you with additional resources that may be helpful in building and promoting your business and services. This program series has several parts, and while each class stands on its own, some content will build on concepts or ideas from the previous week. Today's class will cover the basics of creating a personal profile with a business focus and creating a page to advertise your services. We have 4 other classes in this series focusing on company pages, networking and job postings, content creation for business, and strategy and resources. We have 4 main objectives for today's class. To first review the basics of using LinkedIn with your business. We'll explore how LinkedIn works and how it can help establish your business presence. We will outline the basic information to include in your personal LinkedIn profile. A personal profile is your first step in establishing an online presence. So we'll talk about what information to include as you get started. We will share tips for building and expanding your existing profile. And once you have a profile on LinkedIn, you can add additional content or features to make that profile stand out. We'll explore some of those options. We will also demonstrate how to create a service page. These pages are tied directly to your personal profile and let other users know about the specific services you offer. But what is LinkedIn? It's a professional social networking site used to stay in touch with your colleagues and professional acquaintances. Most people use LinkedIn to stay in touch, to expand their professional network, and to explore new career opportunities. With your profile, you can expand your professional reach and build your brand through thoughtful content creation and conversation. LinkedIn is an option for exploring new or existing career opportunities. As a member, you can search for existing jobs or use your profile to create a custom resume. LinkedIn is also a site for you to host your online resume or portfolio. You can include details of your work history, links to projects and work samples, and even feature content on your profile. It's also a site for sharing business or professional information. You can share unique services that you offer or create a page for your company. So, why use LinkedIn with your business? First, LinkedIn is a social networking site built on creating connections between users. As you interact with people you know, you can expand your reach to find new or different clients outside your existing connections. Your connections might share or comment on your posts with their own network, bringing more traffic to your business. You might connect with new clients through their searches or by using trending hashtags for your industry. Second, LinkedIn helps you build your professional network. As you interact with more users, you can find new connections who might help build your skills or mentor you. You can have conversations with other users, share your own experiences, and even get advice from those who might have experienced something similar in their own professional journey. As you build and nurture your network, you're building a strong foundation from which to build if things are difficult or your circumstances change unexpectedly. Finally, LinkedIn can help increase your professional credibility. As you create and share content, you can build your brand and establish yourself as a leader or expert in your field. The more consistently you share and engage with content, the easier it is for others to recognize your contributions. It demonstrates that you are in touch with your industry's trends and updates. In turn, this can help grow your professional network as more users view and interact with your content. As you get started with LinkedIn, it's important to know your why. If you want to be successful, you need to have an idea of why you are making use of these tools. Engaging with people professionally is different than engaging with them socially. So you'll need to keep that in mind as you develop your plan. So creating a personal profile. As a business owner or entrepreneur, your personal profile page is an important first step in establishing your presence on LinkedIn. Your profile is the foundation that showcases your professional story and introduces you to a wider business network. If done well, your personal profile page will fold into the larger story of your business as you continue to develop your materials. Remember, your profile should be about your story, not about your business. You'll have the opportunity to share more about your company and what you do, but your profile is a place for you to establish the person behind the business. Telling your own professional story helps build your credibility for the products or services that you're offering. Other users can see how your career has progressed and the value you bring to the industry. A personal profile is also the foundation to developing a larger presence on LinkedIn. You need a personal profile page in order to engage in conversations, post comments, or share content. It's the first step in creating a page to showcase your services, and an established profile is necessary for building a company page. You'll use this profile page to create your own content as well, including job postings. A personal profile also makes it easier for clients to contact you. If your goal on LinkedIn is to generate business, you'll want to make it as easy as possible for clients to reach out to you. You can do this by providing a good phone number and email as part of your profile, as well as adding links to your website or blog. For the next portion of the class, I'll use my profile to demonstrate some key elements that you should include as you build your profile. As I make this switch from my presentation to the online web version, are there any questions?
There are currently no questions in the chat or the Q&A.
All righty, thank you so much. All right. So when you have your LinkedIn account pulled up when you're logged in, the first step will be to include a professional profile photo. So by adding a picture, it makes you 21 times more likely to have a profile view than members who don't include one. LinkedIn is about people connecting with people, and your profile photo puts a face to your name. Your photo can be either a professional headshot if you have one, or a chosen personal photo. It's important that you choose a photo that is recent and looks like you. It should be well lit, feature a professional background, and your face should be 60% or more of picture. You can review your visibility settings to allow more users to see your photo, which may encourage more connections. Keep in mind, LinkedIn's service agreement prohibits using your company logo as your profile photo. So as you can see on my own, I currently don't have anything set. So to set that profile photo, I have my profile open. I'm going to click on this photo placeholder image here. There are a few different ways to add this. This is just one of many. So we're going to left click on this, and I'm going to upload a photo. I have one that is already selected. So once you have uploaded that photo, you can make any necessary edits like cropping, filtering, or resizing your image. You can see that this circle right here is kind of that field, but I can drag it over as necessary. I could also resize this to be bigger. So just to show you what that kind of looks like, it's these features down here, these click and drag bars. So if I really wanted my face to be front and center, I could have it super close. I think that's actually a bit too close personally. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. And I'm going to drag that back. If your photo, for whatever reason, was crooked, you could also adjust that here. If it's not, it just rotates it. I'm going to put that back to 0. Some filters it has. just kind of like other social media tools. There are various filters that are available to affect lighting. So if you have a photo that you did yourself and it's not the best lighting, you can adjust that a little bit within LinkedIn to try and get the best effect. Once you like your result, you'll want to go down to the very bottom right and click Save Photo. Once it loads, so it's grayed out, and we're back to my main profile page. And you can see now I have a profile picture. Next, we're going to write a thoughtful headline. And your headline is the first impression that potential clients have of you. This is a space where you can be clear about who you are and what you do. You should think of it as an important first step in establishing your brand or purpose. If you're not sure what to write, look at similar business owners, mentors, or industry leaders for inspiration. Your goal should be to grab attention and differentiate your services from other members. Your headline will also display with your name in the People Also Viewed section. A compelling headline will help you stand out and encourage people to click through to your profile. Including a keyword at the beginning of your headline can also optimize your profile in search results. So we are going to find that pencil icon right here to edit our intro information. So clicking that, we are going to scroll down to this headline right here. So it's underneath the name. And this is where we can write something like, it can either be your current position, it can be something about your business development. There's a lot of options, and I highly recommend researching and checking out what others have on their profile to give you ideas. So for myself, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate my current job title. And any edits you make, you want to go ahead and save to make sure that that applies. It also does want you to go ahead and fill out the rest before you can save. Otherwise, this message here, industry, is a required field. Anything that's required will pop up here. But it will pop up with whatever your field is. And it should let you save. So your intro is saved. Next, we want to provide a thorough about section. So once you have your profile photo and headline in place, it's time to share more details to garner a client interest in you and your services. Your About section expands on the information that you've provided in your headline. Keep in mind as you write, the most impact will come from your first 2 lines. Additional details may be hidden behind the See More tag. Your summary should be your story as an individual. This is about establishing the person behind the brand or business, outlining why you do what you do. You'll have a chance to share more about your company later. As you write, think about how you can help solve the specific need or problem your clients have. This section is searchable on LinkedIn, so you can include keywords to improve your visibility in search results. Be sure that they are authentic and contribute to your overall message. If your industry includes acronyms, you may want to use both the phrase and the acronym to increase your reach. Similarly, use as many variations of your keywords as possible to maximize exposure. You'll need to choose an approach to writing. A first-person narrative using I statements tends to be more engaging and personal to other users. A third-person narrative using he or she statements is also an option. If you're not sure which to use, write your summary in one, then rewrite it again in a few months using the other and see which gets more engagement with your network. As you write, be intentional about using white space. bullet points, and even carefully chosen emojis to break up the text. A wall of words can be intimidating and off-putting for other users. And if you're stumped about what to include here, try this simple format. Your main message and call to action, or how you address client pain points or struggles, how you deliver transformative results. So we are going to scroll down to our About section on our profile. And if you're like me and you struggle with navigation, if you do scroll down at the top, you can always click More on your profile. Well, that's not the more I was looking for. So So you can click More here at the top when you scroll down, or Add Profile section, and it pulls up everything on your LinkedIn profile. I do find this is one of the easier ways to navigate the profile creation process or editing. So we are going to go ahead and click Add About. And this is, again, where we are going to put that information. I have something previously created that I'm going to copy and paste into here. And this is a lot of text. You don't need this much text. You can add in bullet points. You can add in something more, more in line with your industry. As an information professional, more text generally isn't as off-putting in my industry. So that's something to keep in mind. Once you have that in, however, make sure again that you click Save. Are there any questions about adding in that About section?
We have one question in the Q&A.
Mhm.
They asked, what if you have a career and a couple of businesses? How do you choose which are displayed?
So I would say that in your personal profile, that you should really focus on your story as an entrepreneur. So if you have multiple businesses, you can highlight your journey with each one that you're passionate about or that you're continuing. I think those are skills that you need to display in your personal story. And we can talk about company pages later on. Um, Company pages, I believe you can have more than one associated with your account. So there's no need to pick and choose. Does that help?
I think that answered their question, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. It's a great question. And I know I struggle with writing about myself and highlighting things that are key to me for my professional image. So I totally sympathize with the creating and picking and choosing what's relevant. So once you have that completed, the next step with our profile creation today is entering details of your professional experience. And this is the final element to actually starting your personal profile by adding this, again, relevant professional experience. As you add entries here, make sure to include all relevant work experience and industry information. The more information you include, the more likely you are to appear in searches and recommendations. However, don't use this space to simply restate details covered in other aspects of your profile. If you don't have any relevant professional experience, think about adding your projects or volunteer experience to your profile. Adding volunteer experience shows how you contribute to the community at large and emphasizes the causes important to you. For each entry, use specific, measurable information. You might start by writing a 2 to 3 sentence summary and listing 3 to 5 achievements or accomplishments for that position. As you add skills to your profile, be sure to credit them to these entries as well. This is also a space for you to add relevant work samples. Again, as you write, be sure your keywords align with the types of searches you want to show up in. In addition to helping other users find your profile, your keywords are also what LinkedIn uses to make recommendations for you. LinkedIn results are ranked based on both how often a particular keyword is used, as well as in what which sections it appears. Keywords are most important in your headline, work experience, summary, and skills. So we are going to scroll to that experience section, or again, if you're like me and you prefer to navigate through that top add more, you can also click this edit, and I believe add in. This is part of current position and other information here. Or again, scroll down, add profile section, and you can see it very clearly here, add education, add position, add skills. So we're going to briefly fill this out just so you can see what this looks like. It does load that information. And it does have you put in the date and date for your starting date and your completion. Just briefly going through this. You can also then add in skills. They do provide examples. Another example would be graphic design, or if you have specific software skills. This is again where you want to link things that are related either to your education, or if you have examples, you can add media here by adding a link or uploading media. And you could add multiple components of education. So I just listed one today as an example for today's class. And again, we're going to go ahead and add more information. So here in, let's see here. So you should be able to add your specific experience and add in your company name. So let's see here. I believe that that might come under adding another position. So if you are the CEO of your company, you will type CEO here. So there's multiple options, or if you have a specific title for yourself in your company, you can also type business owner, business specialist. LinkedIn has numerous options for accommodating different titles within the industries. So just to display this for today, it will then say, what is your employment type? Self-employed, full-time, however you consider yourself within your business is acceptable. If you have multiple employees, you may want to take that into account. And it also provides examples of the employment types. This is also where you then can input your company name. So if you have several, you should be able to add a few because you can add multiple positions. So And if your company, once you have your logo uploaded, LinkedIn will also auto-populate that in, but we'll talk about that more later in this series. So you'll add your company name, you'll add the location type, and it also allows you to select if you're currently working in this role and for how long. Again, the more description you can provide here, so this is where, again, you can input more details about your company, such as the responsibilities associated and services of your company and your role within that, because it does add, again, to your professional branding. Okay. So once you've established your presence on LinkedIn, it's important to continue building and expanding your professional network. So as you continue to add more information to your profile, you will become more discoverable in searches. You are also working to build your brand and establish your business authority. You don't have to do everything at once, but each step contributes to a stronger profile. We'll look at the following options: adding visual elements to showcase your business or services, customizing your profile to make it easier to remember and share, and I forgot that I needed to switch back to my PowerPoint. And demonstrating your skills and expertise in highlighting your accomplishments. Finally, gathering recommendations from colleagues and clients. And once again, I'll use my profile to demonstrate. And we switch back. Do we have any other questions?
There are no other questions in the Q&A or the chat at this time.
Thank you, Caden. All right. So another way to expand your profile and add to the visual appeal is by adding a cover photo. So just like we did this profile image up here, you'll click that camera icon up here in the banner. So this image appears kind of like what you see on Facebook. This image can be used to showcase your business or services. You might consider adding your business slogan, including your website URL, or listing some of your popular services. Your images can represent your services, showcase your workplace, or highlight some of your popular products. You don't need a lot of graphic design experience to get started. Programs like Canva offer free templates to help you get started. And if you want to learn more about Canva, we have on the Plano Public Library YouTube channel a complete 4-part recording of our Canva workshop for business. So to get started, as before, we're going to go ahead and click this camera icon, and we are going to upload a photo. So I'm going to add one that I have previously created. And you can see it pops back up with this editing screen. So my image might be a little too big right now, and that's okay, because I can resize. It won't let me actually, that's okay. Sometimes this happens, and you just have to kind of add in what you want most to get displayed as your banner. If you have something already created, then again, that's great. You can upload it here. So for today's class, an example, this is what I have. And we're going to go ahead and click apply. And we can see how that looks. So that's not bad for today, getting that started and created. You can really use this as a marketing placeholder though. You can add more services, things that you want people to know are associated with you. So if you have multiple companies, you can have them listed here at the top. If you have any kind of branding, you can include that here. Just anything that will be useful to engage with your audiences. All right. And so next, we're actually going to create a unique profile URL, which is over here in the upper right of our profile. A unique profile URL makes it easier for you to share your profile with others. Instead of the random characters provided by LinkedIn, you can choose to include a custom name or phrase. You can include this link on your resume or other professional documents to make it easier for others to find and connect with you. Your custom URL is searchable as a keyword phrase too. If you don't use your name, this is another option for adding keywords to your profile. So you could use this URL on your business card. You could use this on any kind of business letterhead that you have, any kind of marketing material that you want to expand your influence. So that link is right here. So we clicked edit your custom URL and there's this pencil right by it. So we're going to click that and this is where it allows you to really personalize it. So you can delete all those extra characters and I could just leave my name. You could also, if you have a specific tagline for your business, you could include that here. You could include a company name. I know that might be difficult if you have multiple, in which case it might be beneficial to focus on your name or anything else that's unique to you. So I'm going to leave that as my name. I think that's fairly identifiable. And I'm going to go ahead and click Save. All right. Do we have any questions about that?
Still no questions or in the chat or the Q&A.
Thank you so much. All right. So we've edited our URL. Now we want to really focus in on adding skills and background information to our profile. So I'm still kind of on my edit public profile settings. I'm just going to click back over to this tab to get back to that original editing page. So our skills and our background information. Let's see here. Scrolling down, you can see I have a few skills already displayed there. Why are skills important? They are an easy way to increase the visibility of your profile. Adding 5 or more skills to your profile makes it 27 times more likely than that of other users to be found. You can list skills individually on your profile, but for more impact, link them to specific positions and projects. Remember your education entries, industry information, and descriptions are all searchable on LinkedIn. So the more content you include, the more likely you are to appear in a results list. Skills are used as keyword phrases in the search algorithm on LinkedIn. As you add skills, keep in mind that suggestions by LinkedIn are already in their system, but you can also add your own phrases. Once you've created a skills list, you can also reorder skills so that your top 3 display prominently in your profile. You can edit the text of any existing entry by clicking on the pencil icon, but you'll need to go through the skills section to apply any existing skills to your entries. So these 3 I added specifically with education and a position. And we are going to go ahead and click this pencil icon because we need to add a few more. So we're going to click that plus button and we're going to add some skills. So as a business owner, you may have excellent project management. So that's a suggestion and we can go ahead and click and add it. If you have anything specific, you can even be more specific. With the education listed, you can also highlight if that's something specific from your education or a job position. So we'll go ahead and click save, and that has been added. And if you want to add more, you simply click the add skill and continue that process until you are happy with your final skill result, if you feel like you've listed everything you need to. All right. So another skill It might be finance, it might be business finance, might be accounting, small business financial management. Anything that you use in your day-to-day business management is a skill, and that's something I would highly recommend that you highlight here and save. So I think we have enough here to play with where we're going to actually select this demonstrate skills button. And how do you demonstrate transferable skills? This is by adding in a writing or recording a response to the provided questions. And you can even take a skills assessment to prove your expertise in a particular area. If you meet certain completion criteria, you can display a badge on your profile. So that skill assessment, they provide one within here, and that's answering 15 multiple choice questions, and scores in the top 30% earns a skill badge. So there's things like Microsoft Excel, Python, etc. And again, to be more specific with things, like you can click and you can answer those questions just like so. They really do add a lot of context for your profile. All right. So next, in addition to listing your skills, your profile is an avenue for you to highlight your personal and professional accomplishments. You can list relevant business certifications or awards, or include mentions in publications or other honors. Some of the most common ways to share your accomplishments include publications you wrote, key projects you are working on or have completed, honors and awards, and memberships in professional organizations. The information that you include will depend on the specific type of accomplishment you want to include. As you add profile sections or entries to existing profile sections, the wizard will let you know what information is required and optional for each entry. So, we are going to go ahead and scroll on down because we want to add in another section. Add profile section. And I believe that these are going to be under recommended. So you can add licenses and certifications here. So if you have any kind of certification or licensing for your field, like if you're a licensed accountant, you can add it here. Or if you have anything that is unique to your business, again, this is where you add it. And these asterisks will tell you what are required. This is also, again, where you can link back to specific skills that are unique to that certification. This is really, again, where you are highlighting yourself. You can also add specific courses if there was anything that was specific to your degree or your certificate program that you want to highlight. You can also add in those publications that you've written, if you have any unique patent to your business, if you have any industry awards or honors, anything here that is, again, beneficial for others to know for you professionally or about you and your company. It's very important to add it to your profile. Okay. So, next we are going to go back to the PowerPoint. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Because this next portion is about asking clients or colleagues for recommendations. So recommendations from your current or former colleagues and clients are an invaluable tool for establishing yourself on LinkedIn. These testimonials can help establish your credibility, highlight your abilities, and emphasize your contributions in specific areas. As you are sharing information about your key projects and skills, recommendations can provide that more personal details and testimonials about those skills. Recommendations are based on the concept of social proof. In short, we make many of our decisions based on what others, especially people we trust, recommend. So this is another way to get people to trust you, trust your project, trust your brand, and kind of use that sales funnel method to start getting more people aware of what your business and profile is and buy into your message and who you are, and potentially move down that sales funnel to purchasing. So how you would do this is under a connection that you have, you can select this request a recommendation button here. And at this is at the top of that person's profile. And when you click on more, you can choose this request a recommendation button. It will have you fill out the details of your relationship and position. And you can even include a personalized message requesting this recommendation. It's helpful to let the other person know why you're requesting a recommendation from them on any specific position, project, or skill you'd like them to talk about. Be clear about what you hope to use their recommendation for and what skills or experiences you need to highlight. And then you click send, and that will request that information. And it really does help boost your profile strength and completeness. This can also help improve your search rankings, especially if they contain keywords prominent in other sections of your profile. Each recommendation that you receive can be shown or not based on your specific needs and preferences. Remember, the quality of your recommendations is more important than the quantity that you include. So you can request 10 different recommendations from different people, but you only need to include maybe 3. Again, this is about showcasing you, showcasing your strengths for your business. So do what makes sense for the image that you're trying to portray. A similar tool is your skills endorsements. These are relevant to a particular skill listed on your profile and are the equivalent of your connections confirming that you have that skill. The more endorsements you have for a skill, the higher you will rank in search results for that skill. Are there any questions about expanding your profile?
There are no questions in the Q&A or the chat at this time.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm happy to go over any other question or highlight something specific in LinkedIn. So next, we are actually going to jump into creating a service page. So once you've established your profile, you may also want to establish a service page to let other LinkedIn users know more about who you are and what you do. A service page is a dedicated landing page that showcases your services to other users. It can be created at no cost to you and is associated with your existing profile. You can add up to 10 services to your profile, but they must be from the options LinkedIn provides. These include the main categories of accounting, coaching, and mentoring, consulting, design, events, finance, home improvement, information technology, insurance, law, marketing, operations, photography, real estate, software development, and writing. Adding a service page automatically highlights your services on your profile and makes you more discoverable in searches. Any user on LinkedIn can contact you to receive more information about the services you offer, although you'll still have to have the option to accept or decline each proposal you receive. If you decide to establish a company page later, you can link your existing service page to that company page. So, how does a service page work? So once you've established your service page, any client interactions will happen in a basic request and proposal model. Once a potential client identifies you as a service provider, they can submit a request for more information. As the service provider, you can respond with more information and your proposal if you're interested in working on their project. Once you and the client come to terms on the project, you can complete the work. Any payment arrangements are handled based on your typical process outside of LinkedIn. When the work has been completed, you can request a review or recommendation of your services. So how do we create a service page? We're going to jump back into LinkedIn. And this can be created by first, again, going back to your profile page. And we're going to select the Open To button. And we are going to select Providing Services. So once you select that, you're going to read through this, how it works. And we're going to click Continue. And this is where we see that Let's Set Up Your Services page. And underneath that Add Services button, and we select from the previously mentioned segments. So what you do, so if you have design services, if your business is about design, you can actually go through and you can select whatever specific one it is. So if you provide graphic design services, you can select that. It has a little check mark next to it, and you can add up to 9 more services. So if you have anything specific, you can see if it's listed there, or you can even search. But once you're done, click Done. Those should appear up here at the top. And then you can even tell your customer base what's unique about you, what makes you stand out with your services. Connect it back to your work history or your company values. And this can be something like, I have 5 years of graphic design experience, focusing on X specific design. I've got logos listed there. It could be about logos, whatever your specific services are. So if you already have that clearly defined, such as you only create logos for digital works, you don't do print media, or if you do video editing for weddings, you want to have that listed there and be very clear. You are also then able to select the work location. You can say if it's specific to an area or if you are able to work remotely. If we scroll down on this page, you can add in more information such as that pricing. If you're looking at operating in a different kind of currency, you can add that. You can also include your hourly rate. You also don't have to list that. You can have them contact you directly for pricing. And this is also important. You can select whether or not you allow LinkedIn members that you are not connected to message you for free. This bottom portion is about your settings, and it's about your visibility for who can see your services that you provide. Currently, this is set to anyone. You can change that. You can set that to people you're connected with, or limit it further. So once you have that kind of set, you'll click Next. And this is where you preview that information. If that looks good, if you're okay with that, then you'll click Publish. If you want to make more changes, you'll make changes here. So we're going to go ahead and click Publish. And you can share a post to let people know that you've added the service page and your hashtag open for business. I will not be, as this is not a service I will be having with my profile, but this is a great feature for content creation to really engage with your audience. Okay. So when you create your page, you'll have the opportunity to, again, add additional information and work samples. You can access your service page at any time to make changes like adding media or inviting clients to review your work. And if you need to stop offering services, you can unpublish this page at any time. All right. Hopping back into our PowerPoint. Thank you everyone for sticking with me today. This concludes today's class on profile and services. Before we go, I'd like to share just a few more library services with you. As a reminder, we have 4 more classes in this series. We've got company pages on March 15th, networking groups and job postings on March 22nd, content creation on March 29th, strategy and resources on April 5th, and the link that you use to register for today's class will give you access to the remaining classes in this series. If you are unable to attend any of these sessions, recordings will be available on our YouTube channel a few days after the original program date. If you have a short question that you'd like to ask a library staff, you may submit it online at any time using our Ask a Librarian service. A librarian will usually respond within 48 hours with the information that you need. If you want more one-on-one help from one of our librarians, about 30 minutes, and the chance to go over your specific questions, you can complete a book a librarian request. And each session is tailored to your specific needs and is compatible with your schedule. For many of the topics we covered today, you can find additional tools and resources from the LinkedIn help pages. You can also access tutorials on LinkedIn Learning for more information, tips, and tricks. You have access to LinkedIn Learning free with your library card. Remember, a recording of today's class will be available in a few days on our PPL YouTube channel. And you can access our course handouts online at any time. So if anyone has questions, here's your last chance. Those are 2 emails for librarians. There's my email. I'm Caitlin Tips. I'm a public services librarian senior. Feel free to reach out for more questions. Jamie Eastman is also a librarian here, and she's very knowledgeable in LinkedIn, and you're welcome to reach out with her as well. I would also like to take this time to share that we have a podcast. Plano Library Speaks is a podcast of the Plano Public Library. In each episode, you'll learn about library resources and programs for the entire family, business and career resources, as well as little known facts about the library, and you'll get to know our staff. You can listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. So, are there any final questions before we end today? I really appreciate y'all sticking with us. And as you exit the program, please take a moment to complete our program survey, which should pop up when you exit. We really do value your feedback, and we appreciate you joining us today. But I'll stay on in case there's any last minute question about profiles and service pages.